Hi, I'm David. Do you have problems setting boundaries with other people? It's a growing problem for an awful lot of folks. There's been a lot written and talked about setting boundaries, and I'd like for us to talk a little bit about setting boundaries today. I like to think of a bullseye or as a target with me at the center. I'll go ahead and use my name at the center of the target. And what I realize is that I exist in several different realms of relationship with people. Way out here in this far realm are literally millions of strangers. And when I'm interacting with, actually I'm not interacting with these people at all because they're strangers. And I don't have to worry what they think, what they might say, what they might do. And I don't think that I have to worry about trying to impress them or make them think well of me either. They can just be strangers. But what happens in our lives is that sometimes a stranger moves into this next circle. These are permeable lines, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. A stranger can come into this next circle that I call acquaintances. Maybe a fender bender, or I bumped into them. Maybe the guy who works at this filling station where I can fill up my gas, my mailman. These are people that I know a little bit about, but I don't know an awful lot about them, and I'm not going to really let them know an awful lot about me. We're not going to go to dinner or a movie together as a couple or anything like that. We're pretty much going to keep them in the acquaintance circle. Well, if an acquaintance keeps interacting with me and keeps interacting with me and keeps interacting with me, I may feel comfortable enough to bring him into the next circle. Now, I have to remind you that it's up to me to control who comes in or not comes in the circle. Because what happens is very often we'll meet a stranger and they want to seemingly come right in to the close boundary that we have. On the side, this is one of my worries about dating services, to be honest with you. Because we'll have a stranger and we'll interact with that stranger, and very, very quickly we'll invite them into the intimate circle, perhaps before we should. Well, this next circle here is what I will call my friend circle. And these are people that I know a little bit more about because I've spent the time with them as acquaintances. And I have even learned that it's probably not a bad idea to subdivide this friend circle into two groups. I have some people that let's just call them my so-so friends. And then in this other circle are the people that I will call pretty good friends. But even at that, these pretty good friends are still not in this intimate circle. Millions here, thousands here in a lifetime. In a lifetime, probably there may be hundreds of people that I will interact with friends. As I go through life, sometimes a person who's a stranger way over here may be juxtapositioned so that as I move in that direction, they may turn into be an intimate friend with me. But I don't know this until I've had a lot of experience dealing with them and helping them to realize where they need to come. Well, if somebody comes into my friend circle, again, just with lots of experience and interaction with them, if they prove to be somebody who I really can trust, I can invite them into the pretty good friend circle. And again, it's up to me whether I leave them there or put them into this intimate circle. Interestingly enough, in a lifetime, probably most people can only have 30 or 40 intimate friends. And at one given moment in time, the research shows that nobody probably has more than 4 or 5 intimate friends at any one given point in time. There have been 2 research studies done a few years ago, one by Northwestern University and one done by Duke. And what they found is the Northwestern research found that the average person had 2.8 people that they considered intimate friends. Someone they could trust, someone that they could share their life with, they could be open with. Then they knew that this person wouldn't be judgmental. They knew this person would accept them and love them just as they are. A few years later, Duke did the same study, and they hypothesized that with the advent of social networking and cell phones and email and all that, that this number would grow. What we found is, though, that the average person now has less than one intimate friend in this intimate circle at any one given point in time. Our social networks are much broader, but they're also much shallower. because sometimes of social networking. I do social networking. I think it's great. But when it comes to having intimate relationships with people, and I don't mean sexual, I mean just open dialogue where I can just be free to be who I am. And I know this person will love me, will accept me, will interact with me, will not be judgmental. That's the kind of person that I want in here. And what I need to be able to do is to learn how to have the wisdom to know whether to keep a person out here, keep a person here, or here, or here. Well, prayer works. We ask God for wisdom in the first chapter of James. James writes that if any of you lack wisdom, all you have to do is ask God. So asking for God to give us wisdom in knowing how to interact with people and how to set healthy boundaries for ourselves and for these other people is one of the best things that we can do, so that our lives are interactive with the people that we really know who will care about us and who we can care an awful lot about as well. I hope this will help you understand how to set boundaries in a little bit better way.